On the evening of November 24, 1971, a scene unfolded that would leave an indelible mark on American history, a mystery that remains unsolved after more than 5 decades. A man known only as DB Cooper boarded a flight in Portland, Oregon with a simple plan that spiraled into legend. He nonchalantly handed a note to a flight attendant, which initially seemed like a benign request. But the truth was far more menacing. The note revealed a bomb, which he claimed to have, and started a chain of events that would shock a nation: the hijacking of Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. But who was this man? What drove him to commit such an audacious act? And more importantly, what secrets lie behind the legend of DB Cooper? If you're intrigued and eager to discover the enigma of this infamous hijacker, keep watching. The answers you're looking for might surprise you. The aftermath of Cooper's daring act shook the FAA and FBI to their core. An investigation ensued that would last decades, involving numerous lead suspects, a wealth of theories, and a cultural phenomenon that extended beyond mere news headlines. What makes this case so captivating is not just the heist itself, but the man behind the mask, his cunning, his nerve, and the baffling mystery of his fate after disappearing into thin air. Are you ready to dive deep into the secrets of one of America's most notorious unsolved cases? Buckle up, there are plenty of twists and turns ahead. As we explore this story, let's first set the scene. It's a rainy evening in the Pacific Northwest, a time when thick clouds blanket the sky, and the chill of late November settles in. Cooper, dressed in a dark suit, looks like an ordinary businessman as he steps onto the plane, but beneath that calm exterior lies a meticulously crafted plan. He approached life with an audacious confidence that few could imitate, and on that fateful night, he made a choice that would change several lives forever. Imagine being one of the passengers on Flight 305, blissfully unaware that your evening would soon take a life-altering turn. What was going through the minds of those travelers as they settled into their seats, perhaps looking forward to reaching Seattle when a mere request turned into chaos? Passengers were initially oblivious to the fact that they would soon be at the center of a national manhunt. There was something almost cinematic about Cooper's execution of his plan. After all, this wasn't just about money, it was about mystery, about the pursuit of freedom and independence from societal norms. But who was DB Cooper, really? The persona he crafted was as compelling as the act of hijacking itself. On the surface, he appeared to be just another middle-class man, but beneath that facade lay a complex character fueled by desperation and perhaps a profound desire for adventure. You might wonder, did he plan this well in advance, or is he simply a master of improvisation? The truth is likely a mixture of both. Cooper exuded a calm demeanor, deliberately choosing not to resort to panic or violence, which offers a glimpse into his cool-headed personality. Just think of the intricacies involved in the hijacking. He meticulously picked his target, a Boeing 727, known for its unique back stairway that would serve as his escape route. Was it a coincidence or a premeditated choice? What comes next will leave you speechless. He demanded $200,000 in cash, for parachutes, and a fuel truck ready to refuel the plane in Seattle to facilitate his getaway. His demands were clear and precise. The authorities had no choice but to comply. As the plane was prepared for the ransom, Cooper exhibited an intriguing blend of charm and control. While the passengers were kept in the dark, flight attendants described him as calm, almost polite, creating an eerie contrast to the captivity he had imposed. They engaged him in casual conversations, relieving some of the stress of the situation. Yet, one cannot help but speculate, how did he remain so collected? What went through Cooper's mind during those tense hours? While most would fall prey to panic, his composed demeanor suggests a man with a singular focus and ruthlessness toward risk. On the ground, authorities scrambled to meet Cooper's demands. Collecting the ransom became the top priority, both for safety and procedural necessity. FBI agents coordinating the logistics ensured that a bag filled with cash was prepared in unmarked bills. Little did they know, this moment would shift from an emergency response into a cat-and-mouse game that would endure for decades. But the real shocking aspect of this entire situation lies not just in Cooper's hijacking skill, but in what unfolded next. After the plane landed safely in Seattle, Cooper released the 36 passengers in exchange for the ransom. However, he held on to a small crew of 5, ensuring his hold on the situation. This aspect inevitably raises the question, what did he do to keep the crew placated? Surprisingly, instead of an overbearing display of intimidation, he treated them with respect, almost as if they were co-conspirators in this intricate saga. Once the ransom was successfully delivered, Cooper directed the flight crew to take off again, with a new course toward Mexico City. He had a plan, he had a destination in mind. But as they flew into the dark, stormy sky, tension lingered in the cabin. It was clear that he had only moments before he would take flight himself into the night. Now, picture this, somewhere over the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, Cooper donned a parachute and proceeded to execute his escape plan, all while the flight crew and air traffic control were left scrambling to understand what was happening. Igniting a new wave of fear and wonder, DB. Cooper opened the aft stairway door of the aircraft, stepping into the freezing cold air and heart-pounding uncertainty of what lay below. And then he jumped. As he descended into the night, the vast, dark woods enveloped him, swallowing him whole. Here lies one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American criminal history. What happened to DB Cooper after that fateful jump? Did he land safely? Did he get away with the money? The official investigation would turn into a media frenzy, with every inch of the terrain searched for clues, yet no definitive answers ever surfaced. Here's something you didn't expect. The painstaking search effort, launched in the aftermath, revealed an array of shocking discoveries. While some believed that Cooper would eventually reveal himself, others maintained that he likely perished during his descent, struggling against the harsh winds of the Pacific Northwest. The air was filled with rumors and theories, from local folks claiming sightings of the man and even those who alleged to have had personal interactions with him after the hijacking. What complicates this already bizarre unraveling is the emergence of various suspects over the years, with numerous individuals claiming to fit the criminal profile of DB Cooper. The FBI was often overwhelmed by tip-offs about other potential hijackers. A classic case of too many culprits, each sporadically adding to the already challenging investigation. The elite task force worked under the assumption that clues could be hidden in plain sight. They even exhumed the remains of former suspects and analyzed DNA, hoping to unlock new truths. Still, nothing seemed to yield tangible results. You might wonder how such a meticulous case could remain cold for so long. As evidence began to dwindle, it became abundantly clear that Cooper himself had vanished, perhaps even evading the clutches of the law beyond imagination. Then, as the investigation dragged on, something extraordinary did happen. Cooper became a cultural phenomenon. Stories of the hijacking evolved from chilling narrations of crime into popular narratives, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even a film featuring his exploits. Questions regarding potential motives arose, adding an almost romantic layer to the story. Some argued that he sought liberation from a mundane existence. Others believed he was simply a misfit seeking to find thrill outside the constraints of a life he no longer wanted. As Cooper became iconic, curious minds began to craft their own theories about the hijacking. Could he have been a Vietnam veteran, skilled in survival and parachuting? Did he have ties to underground crime syndicates, making the ransom seem like a mere subplot? The possibilities were endless, adding to the allure of the D.B. Cooper saga. In a nation fixated on crime and anti-heroes, Cooper's daring act struck a chord and echoed across generations, stirring intrigue and curiosity that would last decades. But here's the real kicker. In 1980, a breakthrough occurred when a young boy discovered a decaying package containing $5,800 of the ransom cash at Tena Bar near Vancouver, Washington. This shocking revelation reignited the investigation, leading to more questions than answers. How could the money wash ashore years later? Had Cooper stashed it as insurance, or had he failed to secure the full ransom in his escape? As investigators connected the missing bills to Cooper's own demand, a unique serial number confirmed it was indeed part of the ransom. Eyes turned back toward the mystery. Did this small bounty provide a breadcrumb trail leading to him? The $50 bills now held new significance, but they also served as a painful reminder that the true identity of D.B. Cooper continued to elude authorities. Decades passed, and while the D.B. Cooper case faded in the headlines, it never faded in the hearts and minds of enthusiasts. Documentaries and podcasts dedicated to unraveling this mystery were released, drawing in true crime aficionados and casual fans alike. What side of this thrilling story do you find most captivating? The meticulous planning behind the hijacking? The paradox of a criminal whose mark remains elusive? Or perhaps the idea that Cooper, unyielding in his quest for freedom, outsmarted a system designed to capture him? As we draw toward the conclusion, it's essential to consider how the legend of D.B. Cooper continues to captivate us. This wasn't merely about money, it was about the audacity to challenge the norms, about confronting authority, and about the fleeting nature of life itself. A man took a chance, the ultimate gamble, and played with fate, leaving a trail of questions and intrigue in his wake. How many in this world long for such a daring escape, to break free from the humdrum routine of everyday life? In the end, whether he perished in those dark, wooded heights or vanished successfully into the shadows is ultimately inconsequential. What remains are the stories, the theories, the endless curiosity that surrounds one man's decision to reach for freedom in the most unlikely of ways. D.B. Cooper remains a ghost of history, a lesson in agency, survival, and the indomitable human spirit that continues to inspire wonder. So, what happens next? As you carry this mystery forward, maybe you can help unravel another layer of the D.B. Cooper case. You might find yourself considering, what if someone should attempt to think outside the box, challenge the norm, or even take a leap of faith over that fear of what lies below? And in true Cooper fashion, let that idea open your mind to the endless possibilities of what might be. After all, sometimes the greatest secrets are the very ones that remain buried beneath the surface of our reality.